Okay, here we go, and the White Sox fire sale is heating up. The Dodgers have acquired Lance Lynn and an old friend in Joe Kelly. I really like this trade for both sides, so let's dive into the trade itself on baseballtradevalues.com. As you can see with the numbers, it looks like a win for the White Sox, but for the Dodgers, they needed some starting pitching. They were going after Lucas Giolito. They obviously failed in that attempt, so they pivoted. They went to Lance Lynn, and they were able to get Joe Kelly out of it as well. And hey, bringing him back, Dodgers could always use another arm in that bullpen. I like it overall. Where the White Sox win here is they did not have to send any money to the Dodgers. So Lynn and Kelly were both owed close to around $10 million combined. So the fact that the White Sox didn't have to send any cash over, I think that's really good for them. But also, they get a really good pitching prospect here in Nastrini. This is a guy who has really good stuff. I'll get to that in a second, but let's take a look here at Lance Lynn. You know, we've been talking about Lance Lynn here on the channel for a couple of weeks now as a trade candidate. Despite the numbers, a 6.47 ERA, the 5.22 FIP, there's still a lot to like about Lance Lynn. Obviously, you know, the veteran presence that he brings to a team, the competitiveness that he has. He's obviously still going to be a bulldog for you. He's going to go out there. He's going to make his starts. He's going to give you the innings, but he has been pitching better as of late. The strikeout to walk ratio still looking really good, right around 11 strikeouts per 9, 3 walks per 9. Yeah, the home runs are up this year, but I think he is going to be better for you in the second half. You know, go back to the Mariners game that he had 16 strikeouts. He performed well against my Red Sox about a few weeks ago. So Lance Lynn, I'm okay, you know, with him joining this rotation for the Dodgers. They just needed another veteran guy, in my opinion. You're going to have Clayton Kershaw back at some point. So you're going to have Kershaw, Urias, and then you got Lance Lynn now. And then you got a whole bunch of young guys here. You know, you got Gonsolin as well. So now all of a sudden the Dodgers pitching depth is looking very strong. Could they go out and get another starter? Maybe. I wouldn't completely take that off the table. It is the Dodgers. They're always trying to make deals. They're making a lot of deals here, man. So let's see what else they do. But as for Joe Kelly, you know, the ERA doesn't look great. It's a 4.97, so I can see a lot of people cringing at that. But the FIP is really good, a 3.25 FIP. Even the xFIP is a little lower at 3.08. You know, with Joe Kelly, this guy's velocity is going to be off the charts. And actually, if you take a look, last year, he was averaging under 97 miles an hour on the fastball. And now, this year, he's back up to almost near 100 miles an hour on average, 99.1 average this year. The walks are down with him this year. Joe Kelly is having a much better year, so I think this is going to be a really nice addition for the Dodgers bullpen. So taking a look here at what the White Sox received in return. So if we go take a look here, Nick Nastrini is the number 10 prospect in the Dodgers system. Remember, it's a deep Dodgers system, so the fact that they were able to get a top 10 guy, that is not bad, in my opinion. So taking a look at the Baseball America scouting grades, you got a big fastball with Nick Nastrini. He's going to sit mid-90s with that fastball, going to get it up to 98, even close to 100. The curveball definitely could use some work, but he has a really good slider as well. Has an okay changeup. The control tends to get away from him a little bit, but let's see if the White Sox can get him back on track. And I think in the end, you know, this could be a really good future addition for your rotation in the future. So taking a look at the numbers with him this year, 17 starts, over 10 strikeouts per 9. Like I said, the control is a bit of an issue, so he's in the mid-4s when it comes to the walks per 9. He doesn't give up a lot of home runs, though. He's under a home run per 9. So the ERA at a 4.03. FIP is a little higher. xFIP is a little higher. But I like Nick Nastrini. This is a guy that has really good stuff. So in the end, hey, I'm completely okay with this for the White Sox. You're getting another prospect here in Jordan Leisure. The one thing that sticks out with him is a 70 grade fastball on Fangraphs. If you take a look at his numbers, he's got some good numbers this year. He's going to be a bullpen guy, but hey, big velocity in the bullpen, never a bad thing if you ask me. 14 strikeouts per 9. The walks are in the 4s, but the ERA looks good, a 3.09 in Double-A this year. Taking a look at the FIP, it's a little higher, but the xFIP is a 3.20. So overall, the White Sox getting a couple of pretty solid pitching prospects here, if you ask me. And then they also get Trace Thompson. You know, hey, it's fine. He's not going to be a free agent until 2026. So I think in the end, hey, this is a guy that's going to be able to move around for you in that outfield. He can play all three positions. good clubhouse guy. It's fine. Hey, adding an outfielder to your team never hurts. So taking a look here at the other trade that the White Sox made today, and that was involving Kendall Graveman going back to his old team. He wasn't with the Astros very long. Remember, he went from the Mariners to the Astros midseason, went to the World Series with the Astros in 2021, and then he signed with the White Sox afterwards. And here we go, back to the Astros. So in this trade, all the Astros had to give up here. Well, I mean, I guess I could see two sides of this, where some people might not like what they gave up, and then some people being completely okay with it. You gave up Corey Lee, a catching prospect here. Remember, he was their 32nd overall pick back in 2019. Hey, giving up a catching prospect, catching prospects are not very easy to come by. So getting rid of Corey Lee, in my opinion, I could see people maybe not liking it so much. But for the White Sox, hey, you all of a sudden had basically like no catching depth in this system, and now you've gotten two catchers that are going to be in your top 30. So you got Edgar Quero in the Lucas Giolito trade, and now you have Corey Lee. So hey, give it to the White Sox. They're loading up on some catchers here with Corey Lee. The one thing with him is that he isn't much of a bat as of right now, but the guy has a heck of an arm. And in today's game, where, with the pitch clock and the bigger bases, a big arm like that could absolutely come into play a lot. And then with the fielding, he has a 55 fielding, so he's pretty agile back there behind the plate. He moves well. So it's going to be interesting to see, which one of these guys ends up being the catcher for the White Sox down the road. With Corey Lee, again, the bat isn't really there as of right now. But I really like this for the Astros. And remember, when Kendall Graveman was with the Astros a couple of years ago, well, the one thing with Kendall Graveman that really sticks out with him, at least in his career, he gets a lot of ground balls. But this year with Kendall Graveman, he has not been getting those ground balls. So if we take a look at the numbers, a 3.48 ERA, but the FIP at a 4.85. That scares me a little bit. And when I look at the ground ball percentage, it's down from 54% last year to under 40% this year. That's a big drop. So I like him going back to the Astros. I could see the Astros kind of, maybe getting him back on track here, getting those ground balls more. They got a good infield there, so that makes some sense that they would want to bring Kendall Graveman back into the fold. And when you look at the bullpen here, you got Presley, Neris, and Abreu at the back end. That is fantastic. And Rafael Montero, since the All-Star break, he has been pitching a little bit better. He's been quite the disaster so far this year, but he has been pitching a little better. And if you can get Kendall Graveman back to get more of those ground balls, holy cow, you have a heck of a bullpen here if you're the Astros. So overall, I like this move for the Astros, and I like this move for the White Sox too. I mean, it's not, every day you come across getting at least a pretty decent catcher to put in your system. Like I said, they're hard to come by, but now you got two catchers that could potentially be your future catcher down the road. So overall, I like this for the White Sox. I think their fire sale is going pretty well here. Let's see if they can make any more moves. They got a couple more pieces that they could move there. But in the end, I like this for everyone. I like this for the Dodgers, getting a couple of veteran guys in Lance Lynn and Joe Kelly. I like this for the Astros, getting another reliever for that bullpen. Let's see if they can add some more starting pitching. And hey, in the end, I think all of these teams involved here, I think everyone's winning. Hey, the Angels getting Lucas Giolito as well, along with Reynaldo Lopez. So the White Sox, hey, they're making some moves here. This is exactly what they needed to do. But let me know what you think down below in the comments. What do you think of all these moves? Do you like these moves for the White Sox? Do you like this for the Dodgers, the Astros? Let me know what you think down below. If you can, on the way out, hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, and I'll talk to you next time.